Hi all. You join me in the back of a Mercedes Benz. I know you can't see it, but I feel like future. So, welcome to the Hot Zone. Usually, when it comes to this nighttime topic, you know it gets real. And I've already covered like the big realness in my podcast the other day about divorce. I didn't get to cover a lot about it because I was driving, I was kind of distracted. But essentially, the highlight of it was if you find a wife that even if you have fights, you guys come up with a solution together as a problem solving skill, then you found the one. I'm now doing this voice thing so that my voice is naturally like lower. I don't know how it'll work, but hey, we'll see how it goes on. I look good, don't I? I look like I'm dripping. Because I know I feel good. I feel good. I just cooked, made some food, and I just thought, you know what? Let me highlight my people for a little bit. Now, a future reference. God blessed you. God bless you with a good life. God always blesses you with a good life. If you don't get it, shoot, you better read your Bible. I'm one who hasn't read my Bible quite often, but I do read my Bible. I do pray with God. I do pray to God. And one thing I realize is, like, manifestation is real. Manifestation is real. Like, it's a power that you don't know that you have. Say a little bit of a story. I am a car mogul. I'd say that because I decided to go into reviewing cars in about 2020. I started officially in 2021. So I decided, you know what? Let me wake up. I see a lot of people, they buying cars, they driving cars, and let me just do one. Like, I want to do a car review. So what happened is, this is a story with BMW. I know I've tried to get a test drive at Mercedes Benz. Well, they don't let you test drive AMGs. They don't let you test drive even the normal ones unless you are really interested in buying cars. I was fortunate enough that I tried. You know what? Let me look at BMW, see what they do. I thought it was pretty much the same, but let me give it a try anyway. And fresh from the V Class test drive saga, I thought, you know what? I don't know if it'll be better. So I decided, you know, let me see what I can get. Maybe like a 128i or 135i or a 118i. Something where I can say, you know what? I don't like. I wanna understand to myself why I didn't like the 1 Series, the F44 Generation 1 Series, which is the current 1 Series that's on the market. It's got the 2 Series Grand Coupe and the 1 Series and the 2 Series Grand Coupe. Obviously, on the platform is the 2 Series Extra Tourer, but 2 Series Extra Tourer has always been there, so I have no problems with that. It's just the 1 Series and the 2 Series Grand Coupe I had a problem with. So I was like, why do people like buying them? And I know they're gonna like buying them, so I was like, you know what? Let me see what I can do. Look on the BMW website. I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. You can test from these things. Obviously, being me, I was intrigued. Went, okay, you can do M. In a sentence, here they got new M3 G80, new M4 G82, new M8 F92. All of them in the competition trim. They're out. I was like, you know what? I want to try the new M3, but let's try to see, because I never know if there's going to be another M8. Let me try an M8. M8s, I get there. Now, this is the time the new M3 came out, so it was relatively early in 2021. Everybody was still hot on the looks of it. I'm one who likes the way the G80 looks, not so much the G82. I thought the side and the back it wasn't really like not Aston Martin, but the I don't know how to say it. It didn't look like a BMW. It didn't look like a BMW. And it was the Hofmeister King that spoiled it. So I was like, you know, let me try the M8. Okay, got there. What happened? Turns out they moved from one dealership to the other. They moved to the new dealership. I was like, okay, cool. Pull out my video camera. I like met the driver, KG, and the video. Did the video. It was on my YouTube channel. I'm sure if it's not there, it's probably a problem, but I can upload it again. It's supposed to come out on the 16th of October last year on M-Fest weekend, so I'm trying to see if it did come out. I checked it. It said it was still pending, so I'm sure it didn't. But I still have the file, so it's fine. So I was like, okay, you know what? Okay, they explained to me, I'm at GC. This is the email they sent me. Who was the salesman I talked to? I talked to this man. I didn't have a salesman. It was an email confirmation. They were like, okay, cool. I thought it was going to be another V-Class. I was like, okay, probably not going to get a car. But they were like, okay, let me explain to you. The M8, unfortunately, since it's got this much power, since it costs this much, you're not going to be allowed to drive it. Fair enough. I was in my 280 at the time. I lived at the train station, and it wasn't particularly powerful. Unlike the M8, which was mega. So I took it out for a drive. I held on that car for dear life. Like, if you can imagine the 0 to 100 in that car, 0 to 100 in that car, it's quick. It's just, you can't even, you're not even in the same time zone as your brain. Your brain is somewhere in the back seat, you are in the front seat, being squished to the back of the front seat for dear life as the G4. And I'm like, how do you drive this car? Like, if I'm a passenger and I'm getting the feeling like it's taking me, it's pushing me into the seats. It's like a punch. It's like a constant punch in the face. Then how do you drive the car? And the messed up part is one of my favorite cars is the M5 competition, which essentially is underneath identical. Actually, it's pretty much the same car. The only difference is the body. And the M5 is lighter. And because of the pre-WLTP regulations, you do get some nice noise. And you can get a sunroof with it. I like it. So, in 2021, like, that was the 18th of March. It took me around, I was like, wow. Like, it was incredible. 3 days later, it was celebrating Human Rights Day, which was the 21st of March. I was in Soweto that day. I saw a bright lime green or BMW M4 competition. 510 horsepower rear wheel drive. I'm like, this car, like, I've seen it in person. That's just me seeing it in person. I'm like, I'm not offended by the grill. I really like the way the car looks. I think the way it was spec'd up in the briefs or the official launch, in the case of the M4, maybe the wheels and maybe the fact that it had a front plate got everybody. Me, I won't lie, the grill didn't really affect me that much. I just made fun of it for like a big nose. And yeah, it was that car that honestly I did not dislike. I'm like, okay, it should be a good BMW. BMWs have been good, so it should be a good BMW. At that time, I was working at a radio station, but I wasn't getting paid, so it was like my first few times. I got a call for a radio gig in Actonville. First episode, we were trying out some books. I was like, wow, this is the first time I've actually had to meet the lady who's running this show. She drives 2 hours. She's not like driving, she's in a taxi 2 hours. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I could never. and I didn't. I lasted about 3 days there. I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. Thankful to them for the experience. I've got no beef with the ladies, the managing director of the radio station, Kim. Sam Styles, good girl. I like her. She said the only people like I was the only one who, if I left the radio station, I would like her because obviously I've got a good chemistry vibe. I don't dislike people, especially if they're trying to do a hustle. I mean, everybody's trying to hustle. So I had that experience on the radio. Second episode, my mother was in a car outside recording, and we talked about the BMW M4 competition. I was like, wow. And it's an incredible car. I didn't do that much research on it. Sam did. But she did research on the non-competition, which in South Africa we didn't get. I'm like, I have to guess and wait until I drive the car. And in having fresh the M8 on my mind, I thought if I were to get a car, like if I were to get in a test drive position like what I did again, I don't know if they'll allow me to drive. So even if I do, I can at least hook up my video camera and say, oh wow, this car is actually quite, like, it's so, do like a spin around, it's so, like, it's a new car, it's an M3, M4, doors are opening, things like that. I like the body shot of the M3, look at where the arches are and things like that. I probably have done the video pretty much the same way as I did the M8, but I don't know, maybe in an M3 or M4. September came, I was like, you know what? Let me just see. Because I want to do some recordings. Because all my friends at that time were in TV, production, radio and stuff. They were doing assignments. I was doing my assignments, but they were more like theoretical. And I completed it. I was like, you know what? Let me just do it. And I was traveling to school with the CLA at the time. So I was like, you know what? Let me just do it. So I booked a day. I said to my people, I said, took my friend Theo, took my friend Max. We were like, okay, let's go check out some cars. We did a tour around in Audi. It was very nice. Then the guy at BMW called me. They said, you know what? Are you able to come today? I'm like, okay, yeah, I am. Sweet. We've got an M4. We don't have an M3, which you asked for, but we have an M4. So I was like, okay, it's pretty much the same car. Grab your driving shoes. I'm like, driving shoes? You're like, yeah. I get there. They scan my license. Now it was a bit of a while because obviously I have to be there. Say, hi, I'm Thabi, so I have to. I requested. Here's the email. I spoke to him. He's the man I spoke to. Okay, and then they sorted out, get the car ready. I thought again, it's probably gonna be like, okay, maybe just park the car, wait for it to warm up and stuff. I didn't know. So we were just like, okay, on my BMW, I saw an M5 competition. I was in love. Pure metal silver with tan interior. I love a good color M5. I love good colors. As of recently, I've started appreciating nice colors. Especially like when you see the amount of grayscale cars. A lot of people are like, wow. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just twist up the garage a little bit. Like, let's have some cars with some nice colors, and even interior it's fine because I love, like, I'm sitting in a couple of colored interior. I love interiors. So I was in love with it. The only problem is it didn't have a sunroof, and it was 1.7 million and 1.7 million more than I had at the time. So I didn't actually. Yeah, you see what I mean? Yeah. Pulled out the car, I'm like, okay, cool, nice. No front plate. Fair enough. No front plate means no highway. Fair enough. I wasn't really planning on going on a highway anyway. So, I'm never disappointed when it comes to these things. They said, you know what, let's go. You driving. I'm like, for real? They're like, yeah. Okay, cool. You're in the front seat. So I took the car out. At the time, I just drove on one of the streets. I think it was going down Grayston with the CLA earlier. Hit this particular bump. I felt the CLA. That suspension not is not like smooth. It's not comfy whatsoever. I did the same thing in an M4. I was like I don't feel this car. CLA is crashy. Like it was crashy. I didn't feel the M4. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get used to this. Only thing that was messed up was me trying to figure out how to put the car in drive. Obviously, it's got an M gearbox, so at the time it was still in the reverse mode. I don't know, car was either on or in park or it was the handbrake up. But the car didn't move, it was still in reverse. I didn't know. I think it was in. So then I flicked it, and then revved a bit. And it was nice. But it was in comfort mode, so understandable. So I got to drive it. I didn't record. Because, well, A, at the time of me not knowing, my phone died. and two, well, obviously, I'm not one to just take out a phone, take a video. Like, I'm one to take a small video of driving. But, to be safe, especially in a car I didn't know, and it was about 2 million, the already, for a 510 horsepower rear-wheel drive car, 300 grand more expensive than a 625 horsepower, 750 newton meter of torque, twin turbo V8 car with all-wheel drive. The already. But I literally I couldn't. I didn't want to do that guy, but I did ask. I was like, mind if I record a little bit? Like, well, obviously for safety purposes. Okay, understood. Once I got to a driving side where I knew, but this was where I knew where I was going. Rewind a bit back, I got to experience that car. There was a robot that was stopped at. I could tell people were looking at me. I didn't know, but I was like, you know what? I know this robot. I know where I'm at. Can I give it a floor? He's like, okay, sure. You driving, so okay. This is still in efficient mode. Floored it. It's for an M4, it's quick. For rear-wheel drive, it's quick. And considering yo, oh my word, that car is quick. That's easily the fastest car I've driven. Easily the fastest car I've driven. That was easily the fastest car I've driven. I was like, whoo, I'm impressed. Hooked up a left. I was like, you know what? Let me give it a little squeeze out. I'm used to rear-wheel drive cars. Cause well, front-wheel drive cars. Cause well, I'm used to a front-wheel drive car. I guess it tail spins out a little bit. I'm like, this car is exciting. It was an amazing car. It was a lovely car. I loved it. Would I have bought it? If I had the money, maybe I would have spec'd one up a bit better than that one. Because if I'm honest, the white and black, it's fine. The only problem I had was the wheels, the color. Going against the black trim, that was my issue. And the most ironic part is, about same time last year, which is ironically around this time, which was around 2021 September when I drove the M4. I drove the BMW X7 M50D, and I forgot how much, because I remember the only reason I was like, you know what, let me see what it's like, dude, they still have them for sale. I was like, okay, let me take one out for a drive. The only reason why, I remember that car was because I was playing a game called, what was it, Car Parking Multiplayer, and I had a diesel craze fest because I drove a Hummer in that game. And the turbo noises were just so nice. And I remembered 2019, the X7 came out. Okay, 2018. 2019, I saw the car well, I got to appreciate the car. Not in, well, obviously in person, but also online. I was a spec nerd, so I was configuring it, and I was like, you know what? I like the X7 X-Drive 40D at the time, and then I saw an M50D, A in public, B on TV, and C in person. Excuse me. And I was blown away by it. I loved the way it looked, especially like considering the contrast between at the time I was driving a Jeep Grand Cherokee with black and chrome, but like the chrome is a lot in that Jeep, and I wasn't really allowed to drive it, so I was like, imagine what the X7 would be like. And then I think a month or so before, I actually had a dream about the X7. I was like, you know what? I love the X7, so I said, you know what? Let me take it out for a drive, and I loved it. And the most ironic part is, a few months back, it was in about April, March or so. I remember I was speaking to, at the time I was working at a candy shop last year in Mazubini. It was a beautiful shop, I loved it. I was working there, and I actually remember distinctly having a conversation about manifestation. And a lot of things had reminded me of the manifestation power that I've actually done. I've never ever I've never ever seen manifestation until I realized that some of the stuff that I've actually done, I thought about like since like a long time ago. I'll bring another example. Like I remember the manifestation where I was like, you know what? Maybe one day I might drive the M4. I just want to drive the M4, see what it's like to drive. Maybe I floor it or something. Like I want to drive the M4, and then I drove the M4. But then again, a month or so after, around that time actually after, we got on test an Audi S5. I say on test, an uncle of mine actually had it, and he met my mother in dire time of need. So we had an S5 on test. It was facelifted, so I thought it was a supercharged V6 until I saw the V8 badge and I realized they just put the facelift on it. I liked it anyway. I mean, it was a V8. It was I think one of the first V8s I've driven since like in a long time. First V8 I drove was a C63, but at that time I didn't even thrash it. But it was a V8, so I was like, you know what? And I actually kind of liked it. I liked the S5. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Manifestation as well. At that time, I had it for a bit. Then the CLA was fixed, and then he swapped it out, and then had the S5 again. And then my first manifestation power was the fact that I remember as a kid I used to love it, and I was like, imagine one day I drive this car. Like imagine just like driving it around. It's such a nice car. I got to drive it, and I thought about it. And another manifestation was when we did get to drive it, and my mother kept dropping me off at the train station when I used to travel to and from school. I used to walk to the train station, and I was like, imagine like I just pull up with it one day. And then the second time we had the S5 back, guess what happened? I pulled up with it to school. And in the 2019 manifestation, where I loved and I imagined what it would be like to drive. Like I said, I want to drive the X7. I want an X7, especially the M50D. I love that car. I remember loving that car. And guess what? I got to drive it. And if I'm honest, I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed. The reason I managed to drive it actually was thanks to MFest, or lack thereof going. Because I made a request as if I was there. I said, you know what, let me see if I can drive like an M550D or something. And I googled it. Oh, it's 3 liter twin turbo, quad turbo diesel. And salesman calls me, says, we don't have an M550D. We have a M550. I was see what I got. I mean, like, if you have one in stock, okay. And one day I was like, you know what? Let me take one for a drive. X7. Let's go. Same day, he's like, oh, you called me about the M5. Oh, no, you went. Yeah, I was like, you know what? I want the 50D pack. I want the 50D pack. I want the straight six. I want it. And I remembered another car that actually has it is the X7. And the thing about the X7 is, it's a big car. I get the X7. I wouldn't get the X5. I get the X7. And because it's only one generation of it, I mean, come on, golden opportunity. And then as I thought about it, like few days after that, I was like, I manifested driving an X7. I manifested loving the X7. Imagine like dreaming about an X7. Like I was obsessed about the X7. To this day, I still am. And you know what that showed me? Manifestation. If whatever you want, you desire, you manifest it. You manifest it. Of course, it has to be something good. It has to be something good. It has to be something to the benefit of you. Manifest it. You don't know. It will come true. You don't know when. You don't know how. But it will come true. Ask Jim Carrey. You know, he said on the show, he manifested having a... What did he have? He had a bike, a mountain bike. 2 weeks later, under this tree, he had a mountain bike. His friend, I don't know, somehow his friend gifted him a mountain bike. But he manifested a mountain bike. And sometimes the true gift may be better than what you manifested. Like for example, I did an article about the X5, and I posed it as if I drove it, and I was like, you know, imagine if it was like an M50D, but it sounds like an M50D, right? It's not an M50D though, but I did the article as if it was. And we got an opportunity to ride in an X5 because my mother lost the phone, so we found it actually, luckily. Thank goodness. And then 3 years down the line, I drove an X7 M50D. An X7 M50D. And I really, really loved it. And that's the power of manifestation. Manifest things. Good things will come to you. Pray about them. Do them. Pray about them. And even if you don't have even if the thing that you manifested probably isn't coming now, you disappointed. Which, yeah, you will be. I mean, it's not there. You're thinking, okay, this chance is not here now. You'll actually get the gift. Maybe the best gift in the world. Maybe as it's something that you know you want to do. I mean, come on, it's an awesome car. It's an awesome gift. It's an awesome power to have. But be good. Be good. Manifest and be good. You'll get it. Am I right? I know there are people out there who's like, oh no, I'm manifest. I'm gonna manifest having threesomes. Ning ning, you'll have a threesome with a gent and another guy. You're like, nakikeni. Human. Manifest having a goddess. Ning ning. Unama chips. Unama Russian. Andana. Awa. Yo, it is what it is. And you know what? Now that I think about it, I remember the manifestation power. I remember in like 2020, I wanted a car to replace the SLK. I love the SLK, but 4-cylinder, I need something loud. I need something with a straight six, something creamy. Unfortunately, it came in the power of when the SLK got wrecked. Done. I was disappointed. First car, but then the first car I got, I was like, you know what, let's try and sell and make some cars. And I sold 280E on Gumtree, same time we bought it. And guess what? Like Future, is the car I'm sitting in now. And guess what it has? A straight 6. My plan was a 325i E46. I'm in a 2.8 liter straight 6. I drove a D90. I drove an M4. But now I'm in a 2.8 liter straight 6. And it is loud. And I love every minute of it. In fact, the car was so great. I was like, my initial plan was to pimp it up and then sell it. Pimped it up. I know when you're selling it. And then my next goal was a V8. Porsche, maybe like a Porsche Cayenne or something. Maybe like a V8, like daily driver V8. Like an S5. I'm like, okay. What's it like daily driving a V8? And guess what? Porsche Cayenne came. Not even a standard Cayenne, a Cayenne S. With a V8. And guess what? I love that car to this day. It's more powerful than the S5. That's when you know. Yeah, it's the power of it. And of course, it's got a sunroof. One thing I love. Like, I manifest cars. I manifest owning companies. And it's just something that, I don't know, like, credit goes to God all the way. God over everything. God over everything. Be you and be blessed. And I know it might be a hard way to be blessed. But are you really kidding? You think it's a hard way to be blessed? I'm gonna even take the phone cup up close to me and say, are you sure it's that hard to be blessed? No, I don't think it is. If it's that hard to be blessed, then how come we are blessed to this day? How come that when you've killed somebody, you're not dead? How come when you've lied to somebody, you're not dead? How come when you've stolen like a little piece of chocolate from your uncle's plate, you might have thought you were dead? He probably done slapped you for so hard you done knocked out yourself. But you're still alive. We are not perfect. We're not perfect humans. I know that for a fact. I'm not a perfect human. I've lied. I've cheated. Test maybe. Relationships, We're not perfect. Like, no one is perfect. But we're all made in His image. We're funny. We made in His image. We love cars. We made in His image. Even you out there in India whose life is to scam people because you have no other job, you're made in His image. He's still working on you. You just don't know the vision. You don't know the vision that you have in the world. You don't know the vision that you have for your domination in the world. And each and everybody's vision is different. It's not gonna be Hurriya. I'm this one. I'm this one. I'm gonna copy Steve Harvey. I'm gonna copy Tupac. To be the greatest rapper in the world, I'm gonna copy Tupac. Are you sure? I mean, you can copy Tupac, but you're gonna copy a half of his life. You're not gonna copy his full life. That means you're not copying him. You're only paraphrasing him. Because to copy Tupac will be growing up in the same neighborhood, growing up in the same family, growing up with the same struggles that he had, growing up and having the same vision that he had, having the same opportunities that he has, looking like him, imitating him, being shot by the same people as him, being killed by the same people as him, making the same music as him, making the same decisions as him, going in the same gangs and beefing with the same people as he has. You see what I mean? Sitting in the same position that he has. You're not gonna copy him. You're not him. You're you. He's not you. Shit. You're a rapper who had who was in a family with a mother and a father. You were not shot by Suge King. Your death was not commandeered by Diddy or Suge Knight, not King, my bad. See what I mean? You were not shot 5 times. 6 maybe. 3 probably. Depending on where you're at. If you're from Detroit, maybe once. If you're 50 Cent, maybe 9 times. But you are not him. He's not you. You probably got shot less times than he did. You think he liked getting shot? No. Shit, this track was like from pure like hurt and revenge and hate. His last words to some dude was "fuck you." Imagine. Nigga. Serious? Bruh. You ain't Tupac. Tupac ain't you. You can only be you. You can try and imitate people, but you can only be you. Your name is what you were given. Your life is what God gave you. You can only be you. Do it. Claim it. Love it. Live it. Enjoy it. Manifest it. You want the big house? Manifest it. Pray about it. You want that fancy car? Manifest it. Pray about it. You want that good job? Manifest it. Pray about it. You want to have the vision of world domination? Manifest it. Vision it. Pray about it. You're going to get it. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. It may be through an opportunity that you know you've missed and you're regretting it to this day. But you will get it. It'll come as a bigger opportunity. You might even get like you probably work at ShopRite, dreaming about becoming a rock star. Now you were supposed to get an opportunity where you go to church, sign up for the band, get paid $20 an hour, and live the rock star life on a budget. And you were like, ooh, music, 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 music. But you couldn't because you were working. And you had to have the job. Because ShopRite was paying more. It was doing what you love, but ShopRite was paying more. ShopRite was paying more so that you can do what you hate, but you can have enough money to save up and do what you want later. Not knowing, God might have an opportunity where some dude might say, you know what? I need a potential rock star. You, and he points at you. You working at ShopRite. You working in a cashier is like you. You look like a rock guy. I'll pay you $1 million. Let's go. On the road, you're the lead singer. And in the church band, you're probably gonna be the guy with the flute. Yeah, you're not the most important instrument there, but you have a very key role. You see what I mean? You're probably thinking, I'm thinking what's gonna happen for the next month. Bills, like I need to pay off the car, I need to pay off the house, I need to pay for electricity, these tariffs are going up. I might need to spend in the savings. Ning ning. Hey bruh, we got a new promotion. Let's go. I was like, nope. But God, it's like it's a promotion. You're like, nope. Stay at your boring ass job. 3 months later, those same guys, you're like, see them in the news. 3 guys arrested in a shootout. 2 of them managed to escape. They got into another shootout where along the way they tried to evade the police, crashed, and their car burst into flames, killing all 3 of them. The one died in hospital. That was gonna be you. You were gonna be number 4. meaning trust God. Also, trust Him with the manifestation that whatever you manifest, whatever you seek in Him, you're going to get it. Simple. Am I right? I might be the wisest person in the room. I might not be the wisest person in the room. I'm not even in a room. I consider a car a room. But I'm spitting facts here in the middle of the night because I know one thing. Firstly, God's power is real. I manifested a girlfriend in 2017. 2019, I had a girlfriend. I still have my girlfriend. And I couldn't be happier. I pretty much have a life that I want. But I know I'm gonna get a better life. I couldn't be happier. And I couldn't be more blessed. You know what? I love, and I want you to love, and I want you to live. And with that, thank you for watching. Check out the rest of the other podcasts when you look in my channel. Shout out, this has been Thabi Hot Boy.